How's it going, everyone? Week 5, FanDuel tight end. We got Jason here. How's it going, Jason?
Doing well, doing well.
The storm cloud is hovering even more so today. What's the vibe over there in the Windy City?
It's getting there. I mean, we're on the western side, so it's still not as bad, but it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, and I said Windy City. He's not in Chicago, he's in Florida. But anyhow, cash game tight ends, Delaney Walker, 6,400. Obviously, a little limited last week, but what are you seeing here?
I mean, he's still Marcus Mariota's go-to guy. Obviously, you look at the targets over the first couple of weeks, 5, 6, and 8, in the 3 weeks played. This is a solid matchup. I mean, Dolphins ranked 30th against opposing tight ends, have allowed 10 points, 10 FanDuel points per game. You look at their schedule. I mean, Dolphins really haven't gone up against any impressive tight ends. So that's kind of a number that's a little bit skewed as well. 6,400, not a real bad price for him. I know Zach Miller's there for 1,000 cheaper, so you do have some options you can go with. In terms of upside, I do like Walker a little bit more than Miller because one, I just do think this is, an offense where he really is the guy. We've seen Tajay Sharp, his name be tossed around, but overall, this is basically DeMarco Murray and whatever they can get out of the passing game. So he looks healthy this week. Practice has been fine. Road matchup with the Dolphins. I'm pretty intrigued at this price.
Yeah, and the injury is going to keep his ownership way down. I mean, he's going to be 5 to 10%, which is going to be very pleasant in a very plus matchup. So I dig that quite a bit. As far as Zach Miller goes, agreed. Without Kevin White, that's a situation to watch for sure. GPP tight ends, we don't disagree very often, but Rob Gronkowski, go ahead.
This is why I'm glad you're disagreeing, because this kind of feeds
Yeah.
into my point, because I mean, one, you're probably reading, oh, he's not 100%, the hammy's still an issue, but you've also maybe seen that Gronk is feeling like this has been a turning point in practice this week, that he feels better. Overall, great matchup against the Browns, team total of 28. I mean, this is one of the few times that Gronkowski flies under the radar. And 7,200 for Gronkowski price tag, that's not that bad. Especially on FanDuel with value running backs, with cheap guys like Brian Hoyer, Eli Manning, Carson Wentz, whoever you want to go with the quarterback to kind of allow you to be different. He fits into a lineup, and we know the upside with Gronk, but I think right now the floor is a little bit lower, which is why you're not going to be touching him in cash games. I just like this matchup. I love that Tom Brady's coming back. I want to be ahead of the curve here and trying to get that first big Gronkowski week rather than trying to chase it after it happens. So that's what I'm looking for, and I think you're going to get him at really low ownership.
And okay, so quick side, I do like Martellus, but in terms of Gronk's range of outcomes, I mean, I've literally seen him, like, he's had performances before where he's hurt and they strictly use him in like the red zone and he's caught like 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, there's no debating, his upside as a player. I think it's an interesting contrarian move. I won't be making it, but to the victor goes the spoils, and this will be the only time you really get Gronk at a relatively lower ownership because of guys like me. So, last guy you have mentioned here, Zach Ertz, 5,600 against the Lions, first week back as well. Lots of tight end injuries. What do you think of Ertz here?
Well, you're looking at Zach Ertz as kind of a real swerve off of Miller, 5,400, obviously the great cash game option under Hoyer. But Ertz is kind of a pivot away from that. You touched on the DraftKings tight end podcast about them possibly limiting him snaps a little bit this week, just getting him kind of back from the injury, which was kind of a nasty one. It's one of those ones where it's tough for a football player to deal with. Any rib issue is going to be tough. But I like him here. I mean, you look at this Lions matchup, this is great. They've allowed the 4th most fantasy points to tight ends this year, already have allowed 5 touchdowns. So no surprise where they rank in terms of Football Outsiders. Ertz has only had 1 healthy week, and he saw 7 targets. I think that's a pretty good estimate, even if he does, play a little bit limited snaps, because one, you look at Carson Wentz and the way he's playing, I think this opens up for guys like Jordan Matthews and Zach Ertz to be really viable options on a week-to-week basis, which sometimes we don't see that happen when, rookie quarterbacks come into play. It lowers the floor and ceilings of others around him. But The way that the way that the Phillies playing this week in this matchup against the Lions, I just think this is a kind of a great way to get him at lower ownership because once he's kind of back, I think he'll be cash game guy.
Yeah, I mean, Ertz or Odubel Herrera, whichever one, I think is pretty viable.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that guy's name in a while. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you like what we're doing here on the YouTube channel, give us a like and subscribe. If you want to check out this article because you don't like looking at my face, very understandable. Go to Daily Fantasy Cafe and check it out there. As always, hope this works out with your roster construction, and we will see you guys in week 6.